Whoa, 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 whoa! What up, y'all, man? I'm starting off with some Sabres gear today. I'm being a little different, yup. Because
I
guess
feel
what?
like you're fronting with that. I didn't even realize you had that on. I feel like that's kind of a front, but you got it.
It might be. Every once in a while, I mean, pack a bag full of bills gear. I'm like, I gotta try to mix it up every once in a while. Could have thrown some Knicks shit, but as we kind of talked off air, Knicks kind of pissed me off. But either way, guys, welcome back, man. We in the zone with V and Z. I'm your co-host Val. It's my guy Z over there. And we holding it down for another week, man. We are getting towards the what they call the meat and potatoes of the schedule. That week 8 through 12 stretch, week 7 through 11, whatever way you want to look at it. This is the meat and potatoes of the schedule. So glad to obviously join you guys after a victorious Sunday, a beautiful fall Sunday. So since we were both at the game, Z, I'm gonna get a mic to you, and I'm gonna just say, what was first off, how you doing? You can tell the people how you doing, and then second of all, man, what's your instant reaction from the game on Sunday, from the stadium?
I mean, listen. Anytime it's October and we got damn near 70-degree weather, I'm good. I'm good. So it was nicer Sunday than it was season opener, home opener. So
Yeah,
it was beautiful, perfect football weather day. Not a cloud in the sky. So like, listen, we was out there early, primed, ready to get this dub. So
facts.
it was definitely a slow start. I mean, crowd was into it early, ready to roll, and it was just met with instant duds. I'm just
Right,
like, damn, 3-0. All right, cool.
cool.
They go on to score, kick a field goal, get the ball back, another 3-0. I'm like, all right, let's run this thing back, get it back together, go down and score a touchdown. Next thing you know, we down 10-0, 10 minutes into the game. I'm like, listen, let's rein this back in a little bit. Because again,
Yeah,
heavy favorites at home, and rightfully so, backup quarterback, and we come out with just no intensity, no rhythm on offense. Defense is kind of doing what the defense does, and giving a little bit in those first couple drives, which they've done.
right.
Give up some yards and then kind of tighten things up from there. But it took a while to get that offense clicking. But once they finally did, it kind of was an opening of the floodgates. So I mean, I think they're a little bit stubborn, just kind of beating their heads against the wall, trying to get that run game to work. Specifically that shotgun zone read to work, which just wasn't clicking against this defense. But once they start getting the ball in their receivers' hands, Cooper got going after his early drop.
Right.
They got Keon Coleman rolling, Kincaid finally with a little bit of down the field action. Not just a quick out routes. They actually got him on a couple flag routes, a couple seam routes. I'm like, all right, finally get my man involved. But it was nice to see them actually be able to put their foot on that gas and not let it go. I mean, down 10-0 early, but run off 34 straight. So at the end of the day, they ended up doing what they needed to do. It was just such a super slow start.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, start from the jump like you did. From the morning that we got there, great weather, great vibes. Obviously good having you and your brother stop through. Have food and drinks. Shout out to the crew for having some what they call it, Croupotle.
Chipotle. Shout,
Croupotle
shout
on
out to
deck.
the squad.
Yeah, shout out to the squad for having some good food on deck. What I mean, 4 weeks since we have been out there for a home game. So I
Yeah,
mean,
it's been a while.
it felt like forever since we've been out there, but it was good to get the vibes back. And again, it was Tennessee, so I feel like not much from the opposing fan side. You know what I mean? Like we were
There's
like
a couple heads out there, not much.
trouble has, but nothing crazy. But it was like 90% Bills fans,
I
which
will add this though, but not to shorten you off. I went
all
out
right,
to what day was this? Must have been Saturday night. Yeah, because we had dropped Z off at daycare. So we just went out, me and the missus went out to eat to a spot downtown, and we in the bar, and I'm sitting like, yo, they had the Tennessee Alabama football game on, and I'm like, yo, why is there like 50 Tennessee University of Tennessee fans in this bar, and my dumb ass could not figure it out. Like, yo, ain't no way there's this many Tennessee college fans in Buffalo. And then the next day, I'm like, duh, stupid. They played the Titans.
They played the Titans.
Like, I had the slowest moment, but
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, okay. So there's a couple Tennessee folks that flew up, but not too many though.
Yeah, they I mean, for what it's worth, they fans, you know, from what I've heard, they don't travel like that. They not like I told somebody the other day, and maybe I said it, you know, while we were recording. It's like 5 or 6 fan bases that you're going to know that's going to pull up anywhere. You know, you got your Steelers fans, you got your Cowboys fans, you got your Raiders fans, Packers fans. You know, those 4 off top, I'm gonna say travel very well, and of course, us Bills fans, we do our thing. But like Titans, you know, you go even if you go to Tennessee, from what I heard, I haven't been to a game out there yet, but they like even the fans out there, they just like shit. Y'all can have these tickets, you know how y'all know how we take over their stadium out there. So, but shout out to the Titans. I mean, no bad encounters in the crowd, anything like that. But like you said, as soon as you got in there, it was a little bit of a buzzkill. You know, a couple fans around me getting frustrated and stuff like that. Dude behind me almost got kicked out too. I'm like, wow, look at other people acting up. You know, it's not me. But yeah, I stayed cool, calm, and collected that first half because I just kept thinking in my head, I'm like, we're going to turn this around. No, we are. And obviously towards the end of the first half, we got going a little bit. You know, a big play from Keon Coleman, James Cook, I should say, gets in the end zone right after that. And then you could kind of feel like, all right, at least we going in there with a tutty. And then let's build off that, which they did. You know, obviously, like you mentioned, got Cooper going, got Kincaid going. And then in that fourth quarter, obviously, Khalil Shakir gets going, and then some more Keon. But I think that's probably the biggest instant reaction I got is that I love the fact that they didn't let that slow start kill the vibe for the whole game. Because we saw last year, there were moments when it was 4 quarters of just that. 4 quarters of just struggling to get down the field, 4 quarters of just struggling to develop a rhythm. And then you got to wait till after the game and say, hey, we got to work on this. We got to work on that. Like, no, they made adjustments. Like, I saw a couple comments online after that said, hey, for as much as we want to dog the coaches for what they don't do in bad moments, we got to give credit when they do make adjustments. We got to make sure we give them kudos when they do figure it out on the fly versus, you know, next week we're going to do this, or we need to practice harder at executing this and that. Nah, sometimes it's the end game adjustments that really make some of the best teams extremely good. Because you got to be able to look at what you're doing and say, you know what, this not working. Let's try this. Let's do this. Let's focus on that. And the way they were getting that ball around the different players, finding the sweet spots for Khalil, finding, you know, Kincaid down the field, which we mentioned. It sucks that Curtis Samuel had to go out early because I was looking to see how he would be used along with the rest of that receiving core. Because I really feel like when they are healthy on offense with Samuel, Keon, Khalil, and now Cooper, a lot of seasoned Ks. But when that gang, when that gang is healthy, hey man, if I'm even Knox too, another K. That's funny. Yeah, last season K's in that group. I just put that together. But I'm looking to see what they look like when they are healthy. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm excited for Shakir. I'm definitely excited for Keon Coleman. And just Amari Cooper just getting more and more familiar. And then not to mention the running backs doing the dirty work. So that's my quick reaction on it. But who do you want to give your, you know, game ball to if you had to give a game ball away?
See, I don't know if I want to give a game ball to this player per se, but I do just want to highlight Ray Davis. Like, I think he is at the point now where I think he really needs to get some more snaps on this field, because right now every time the ball is in his hands, he's making something happen. I mean, nice little 22-yarder, 22-5-yarder, whatever it was, and then nice little touchdown run. You know, and it's a different style of running back compared to Cook. So like, just that quick get the ball in your hands and go action. Like I think he's demanding more snaps, and I'm hoping that they find a way to utilize him and actually utilize him in a different way than they have been so far. So I just want to give a little shout out to Ray Davis, but I think I just got to get a game ball to Allen. It is this year he's just playing so calm. Like it's the Titans defense is still no slouch. You know, as a whole, their team is not amazing, but their defense, pound for pound, is still one of the better defenses in the league. I don't think they're the top defense like the stats have said, just because they haven't played the toughest schedule, but they're still a solid defense. But Josh, the whole game just stood in the face of that and delivered the ball on time, accurately, where it needed to be, when it needed to be. So he just was in control of that entire game, even when they were running. Not clicking exactly, but he was still in control, still in command of that offense. So getting the ball to Cooper on just a couple days practice, getting the ball into Khalil's hand where he can catch and run, where Coleman can catch and run. Josh is just in complete control right now, and he's looking all the parts of a true vet quarterback right now.
Yeah, I'll say piggyback off that. It's showing flashes of, to me, 2020 Josh. When we said that was his most efficient year. Probably the closest he came, like, legitimately to winning MVP was that 2020 season, the COVID year, where I think he threw only 7 or 8 picks and had, 40 touchdowns or whatever number it was. Like, his ratio was really good that year. But
who won it? Was it Rodgers that year? Who won it?
I think Rodgers won it. But like I think he got 2 or 3 votes that year. But like Josh that year, that was the year when like he really took that step where we're like, oh, this man now looking poised in the pocket. I still remember the Buffalo-Seattle game when Seattle came to Buffalo that year. And, his grandmother, I think, had passed, and he threw like 5 or 6 touchdowns, and he just was looking so cool under pressure. So kind of like you mentioned, you know what I mean? It's watching him continue, though, to be the leader and just lead by example. You ask for guys to be calm under pressure. You ask for guys to not go the route of the roller coaster and let their emotions get the best of them, especially when we're losing. Because if Josh had the temper of the fan base, he'd be all over the place. But nah, he kind of rode that wave. Didn't see him get too frustrated. Obviously, we watching from, our seats. But at the same time, when I watched it back, didn't really see nobody, didn't see him slamming his helmet or anything like that. So definitely want to give a shout out to him. I got a couple game balls, though, real quick that I want to give to. One, I started special teams as a whole, but Tyler Bass, I think that Bass, the love that he got from the fan base this week and on Sunday, I think that went a long way.
Yeah, I mean, he made all 6 of his kicks, and that's huge.
Yeah, I mean, we can't, for as quickly as we want to, because I've done it before too. That's why I joke and say bullying works, but as quick as we want to be on him for missing a 22-yard extra point, we got to be able to congratulate him when he makes every extra point, congratulate him when he makes 2 or 3 field goals. So shout out for him for being perfect on Sunday, because guess what? The more times you putting up points, I mean, the more time your kicker coming out there too. For kickoffs, for extra points, when you get in a field goal position and you need that gimme 3, good to see him do it. And there was a little bit of wind out there too. So
yeah, I mean, it's a good confidence builder. Hopefully he can just build off that. Get his rookie year swagger back.
And that's what he mentioned, getting that swag back. He talked about having fun again. I've said before, that left eye, little drawn, like, bring it back, bring the paint back. Because you had, you used to walk around strutting, have fun with it, because the game don't got too many dope kickers. And you was one of the young, dopest kickers in the league. So hopefully, like you said, he can build off his performance Sunday, because we're going to need him. Whether it's an extra point here, whether it's a kickoff, whether it's a chip shot field goal, we're going to need that man. The more times they get in the end zone and the more times they get in the red zone and past the 50-yard line, fuck that. Every time they get past the 50-yard line, my man got to be ready, because he has a weapon, and his weapon is he got a strong leg. So whether we need a 55-yard field goal or a 25-yard field goal, we're going to need him. So I'm asking fans, if you're listening and you're going to games or whatever you're doing, continue to not be an asshole, right? Continue to encourage the kid. You know what I mean? Continue to encourage them. But the kick returner too. I do want to show a little bit of love to him. Not gonna give him a full game ball,
Yeah,
but just
Cowington, that return, that sparked it. I mean, that nice little return, that gave him they got, I think, the ball at the 45. You know,
real good field
that
position.
short field was the first score of the game, and that was definitely a turning point.
Yeah, because I watched it back the other day, and I'm like, I didn't realize he broke like 4 tackles.
No, in the moment, I realized he broke like 1 or 2. I didn't realize he broke as many to the extent that he did. Because, like, in the stadium, you definitely missed some
Okay.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
Down out.
yeah, and the replays be iffy. Like they're gonna show you a replay,
Man, I swear,
or they're
man.
gonna show you the same replay 100 times. Like they showed that Cooper touchdown in the damn stadium like 100 times. Like I get it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Coop, but y'all gonna keep announcing that Cooper got his first touchdown as a Buffalo.
I need this new stadium screens to be way more better than the current shits, because them shits is trash.
Yeah,
that's just standard definition half the time, man.
Yeah, I know, bro, right?
That damn the overturned touchdown pass for Coleman, I couldn't even damn see anything. It's like I was watching the game in 2002. I said, yo, come on, y'all. Yeah, they gotta do better than this.
They gotta do better with that. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother subject, but they gotta do better with mixing up the music too. Cause like I get it, Mr. Brightside, some of these players love that shit, the crowd love that shit.
It's gonna get played out real fast.
Can we get Sexy Red back a couple times? They done went away with Sexy Red. Can I get I know they scared to play it, but can I get a Kendrick Lamar a little verse in there one time? Can I get a Not Like Us? So
can they get rid of that trash ass Buffalo Stampede? Because that drum line is trash. they play the same cadence every week. The joints, they trash. Like, listen, other teams, I don't know. I'm on a tangent. Excuse me. I'm on a tangent now.
Yeah, that's all good.
Other teams in-game display and in-game entertainment is a million times better than what this Bills be rolling on. I say, yo, the Stampede is trash.
Yeah.
The halftime shows be trash. Like, what do we do?
Go to sleep. You know what I mean? Eat your food. That's what I do. I be eating my food in my seat. Whatever I take in a plastic bag, I be eating. You know what I mean? Thirsty, all that shit.
Syracuse band. Were you there for halftime when they did that? Thriller?
I fake was. I was diving into some food, but I was like
doing a Thriller dance at the end. I said, "Oh yeah, terrible. They stiff. They ain't got no rhythm." I said, "Yo, what the?"
But that's why I be like, who be in charge and stuff, and who willing to take recommendations? Because that's all I want. Let me be a part of the recommendation committee at least. Like I want to give. Know what I mean? I just want to give y'all a couple things that could make everybody get live. Because like I said, cool. Y'all got a theme song now that y'all like to go to in the second half with Mr. Brightside. What else? That can't be y'all only calling card. I'm sorry. I got to be the one to say it. Right. Y'all going to do the same thing every fourth quarter, every third quarter, get them hype. Cool. You still got me over there. I'm just like, I bet.
They put the words on the screen for you this time?
I know. Cool.
Trying to get you going.
But can I get something else too? You know what I mean? My little ski. You know
I say, oh, my hoochie daddies.
Man, listen. I'm just saying. I know I got Keon. Man, maybe somebody needs to ask Keon, like, Keon, any recommendations you would have for like in the game entertainment, in the game sounds? Because like I've been to road games, and you know what I mean, off the top of my head, I'm trying to think. DC, New Orleans. I know I'm naming all the places that you would expect to have good music and shit, but like I'm in some places where the entertainment was valid, and I'm just like, damn, like Tampa Bay, Cleveland.
About to get that glow really popping in the stadium.
And it's not even a particular artist. I'm just saying, like, you gotta have different things to do during breaks, other than showing me a highlight from the fucking
the entertainment package in game is just bad. There's just no other way to put it,
bro. Like you showing me, like, okay, cool. I do want to see some highlights from some other games, but like, I don't know, man. Just we went on the tangent, but just touch it up a little bit, because for us that be at the games, like we need a little something more than Mr. Brightside in the fourth quarter. Like I need
to bring Buffalo Jills back, man. We need something. Give me
something. Man. Anyways,
just get rid of that Stampede. Listen. If I got any recommendation, get rid of that Stampede because it's trash.
Dudes on the national anthem did good too. Want to give a shout out to whoever was singing the anthem though, because
he did his thing.
Yeah, because I always, me being the one who actually auditioned, I do pay attention to that stuff now. So
yeah, no, he sang that. He did that thing. He did his thing on that.
I'll get up there one day. Ain't no big deal. But the other game balls though, real quick though, man, because I don't want to forget nobody. Keon for going over 100 yards
Yeah.
for his first time in the NFL career. I think that's big for him for two reasons. One, it's kind of probably showing him like how much more space he gets to work with, with having Amari Cooper out there
And Cooper
take
wasn't even on the field for any of his catches too, but it's a trickle down effect, though. It still makes a difference.
effect, right? And that's the thing is like once the defense is like mindful of, I gotta watch this person, I gotta watch that person. Well, they might run the ball here. Now you are basically the fourth or fifth person they worried about. They ain't even think about you, to be honest. You know what I mean? They might try to, jam you at the line, but after that, once that play get going, they'll try to figure it out once you catch the ball. But I think what the league is starting to notice with Keon is that the trend that he had in high school and college is valid. He said it himself. He was always a run after the catch guy. Like dude, when I get the ball in my hands, I'm getting upfield. I'm trying to make a play. I'm trying to make somebody miss. That's all he did at Michigan State and at Florida State. So it's good to see some of that translate over, which I didn't think it was going to be an issue because I think I said it weeks ago. I'm like, the man going to score one of his first touchdowns on like a long play where he going to just take it himself. You know what I mean? We always look at just jump ball this, jump ball that. The dude can catch the ball, spin out, and get going.
Like he returned punts in college. Like he has ability with the ball in his hand. Like he's not the breakaway 4-3 speed guy.
Yeah, he's not that.
He's a long strider who can, once he gets going, he's moving.
And he can break tackles and he can make people miss. So, shout out to him. Last one I want to give a shout out to is just honestly the defenders in that second half. Holding them to 0 points. Dwayne Carter continuing to blossom as a rookie. Terrell Bernard when he's out there continuing to make plays.
Greg Rousseau had a hell of a game.
Greg Rousseau, I mean, just
7 quarterback hits or something like that.
7 quarterback hits. Glad to see Ed Oliver out there. I know it's going to take him some time to get back.
Had a good game now.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like seeing these guys, week by week. Some guys coming back from injury, some guys just really getting into their form. Epinesa, couple plays back on the back end. Benford locking down as always. Rasul, I know he want that pick back, but like
he got it. Yeah, I need him to catch that.
I know. Yeah. DeMar got his second pick. So like all around, just want to give shout out to the defense too, because like I said, this week from an outside standpoint, was definitely a week that we showed a lot of love to the offense because of Amari Cooper, but I think we got to give love to the defense too. And I get it. It's Mason Rudolph. They 1-4, but guess what? It's still the NFL.
It's NFL.
It's the NFL, and teams done lost to backup quarterbacks before. Shit, we went to the playoffs 2 years ago and almost lost to a backup quarterback in Skylar Thompson. So you cannot take none of these guys for granted. It's another AFC opponent, and motherfucker, we 5-2, right there with Baltimore. And right there near the top of the AFC where we belong. But semi looking straight ahead. We done spent 20 minutes on that game. Your initial thoughts on facing the Seattle team. And I know they're going to be possibly without DK Metcalf, it looks like. But what's your initial thoughts?
Yeah, that makes a massive difference. Because if he doesn't play, obviously that's a big loss. I mean, DK is such a monster, like someone who can beat you with his route running, someone who can get over the top of the safeties, someone who can just go up and catch it over anybody. Like he's just such a mismatch, just an athletic freak. So if he's not in the game or not close to 100%, that offense is losing a major weapon. So, that's obviously something to watch in the next coming days just to see how that unfolds. But Seattle they got some players.
They do.
Kenneth Walker is a beast.
Yeah, a handful.
Is a beast. I mean, JSN has been coming on in his second year. Tyler Lockett is always doing what he does. Like
Mr. Reliable.
Yeah, Noah Fant is not an all-star tight end, but he's very serviceable. Geno Smith is still somehow doing
he gonna throw that ball around. That's one thing about him. He don't care. He throwing that thing.
Yeah, he's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. I think he's still leading the league in passing yards. So like he's out there getting it. So like they got some players. So I mean, this is going to be I think it's going to be a super physical game, especially if whether DK is in or not, it's going to be a physical game. But if DK is out or limited, you definitely going to see them, really leaning on that run game even more. So this is going to be a game where they're going to have to strap that neck strap up, have that mouthpiece in. It's going to be a physical game. And again, us running so much nickel, thank God Taron Johnson is back.
Right.
Because it's going to be a game where we're going to really have to make sure that fundamentally we're sound on that D-line and those linebacker, that second level, because we're going to get tested day in and day out all day. So,
Yeah.
this is a game where we got to match that physicality.
Yeah, I think the physicality part and just defensively, I think that's probably the biggest match of the game. Because to be quite honest with you, I'm not worried about the offense, and that could be me being overconfident. That could be me just having a lot of trust in Josh. But why wouldn't I be? He is playing at a top 2 level. I think right now the 2 best quarterbacks in the league is Lamar and Josh Allen. You could throw Goff in there and a couple other guys. Shout out to the rookie in Washington, but yeah, I mean, Josh Allen right now is playing at a level right now where I'm not too worried about focusing on him versus that defense. I think that the ceiling for us is maybe scoring 38 points, maybe at the bottom. I can see us maybe getting by with 26, 27 points, but I'm really focused on how this front 7 is going to, kind of, I want to say limit, but like that's tough to say. But how are they going to at least keep things in front of them in this game? Because we know what the yards that Geno has thrown for. I think he's thrown for over 1,800 yards so far through the first 6 games, first 7 games, on pace for over 4,000. He gonna try to get that ball down the field, and I think I saw Taylor Rapp talk about it recently. Is just keeping things in front. We can't get beat deep, but I think it really starts with the front 7. Terrell Bernard right now is questionable. Right now, that means Dorian Williams, guess what? You got to step up. Now that means Taron Johnson, guess what? Welcome back. But now I need you to play an important role inside that box. And just honestly within 15, 20 feet too. So watching the tight end, watching Tyler Lockett, and just navigating just that 20-yard range. And then from there, the front guys, Greg Rousseau, I need you to be dominant again. I don't need you to take 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off. I need you to show your face, get your hands up, bat a couple balls. So I'm really looking for the front 7 to be able to step up big, because right now, if you're down Bernard, if you're down, I know we're down Von Miller for 1 more week, but like I need the front 7 to again for 4 quarters though, make a statement. And it really comes down to Babbage and McDermott putting together a great defensive plan. Because like I said, I don't know if it's going to be dime or nickel, because they could throw some dime at him, especially in some 3rd and long situations, 2nd and 12, 2nd and 13. That's why it's important that they get big stops on first down. But if you can get these guys in passing situations and you can throw that dime package out there with Jamarcus Ingram and with those other guys, the Bills can do their job, because the Bills got the corners to match up. So when it comes to corners versus wide receiver, especially with DK out, I'm not worried. Douglas locking up people, Benford locking up people. Rapp is doing a good job in coverage. DeMar, yeah, okay. But I got Taron Johnson be able to play in coverage. I got Jamarcus Ingram, if we go dying, to be in coverage. Dorian Williams, guess what? I need you to continue to grow in coverage, because you got the athletic ability to fly sideline to sideline. It just don't get caught in the face. Don't get caught out of position. So my eyes is really going to be focused on how that front 7 comes out in that first half, because we can't get off to another slow start, because this is the type of team, if they get grooving, this ain't the Tennessee Titans. They can put 28 up in 1 half. And then Panay is back on defense. So to me, I'm looking for the front 7 to set the tone. I'm not worried about our corners in this game. I feel like our corners will do a good job with their crew over there, with their tight ends. But it's about what do we do in that 20-yard range? How can we contain Walker? How can we keep Geno kind of on the move? And like I said, Geno is a guy, he going to take a chance or two. And it's not to say he's sloppy, but he going to try to fit that thing in there.
He can push the ball down the field. And that's the thing. Like, Kenneth Walker, he going to get his at some point. Like, running backs of that caliber, they're going to get their yards at some point. You just have to make sure that they're not knocking off them Derrick Henry level runs where they're knocking 80
That's what I said.
yard, 50-yard runs. You just have to keep that
They
back breaking run up. But they're gonna pop a couple 10-yarders, a couple 15-yarders. That's gonna happen with the style of defense that they play. However, they just need to make sure that massive run is not happening. Just really got to stay keyed in on that, because again, with being in nickel, you're giving up, you're conceding some of those yards, and because again, at the end of the day, running the ball for the most part is not going to kill you. If they get near, okay, cool, but you still got to get the ball in the end zone, and that's where they really tighten up. So Kendall Walker gonna get his, but you can't let him dominate the game, because if they fall into that same game script that Baltimore got into, where they were able to just keep pounding the ball and then play action off of that, that's going to put the Bills in a difficult situation.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest with you guys, I mean, it's really going to be a lot of bend but don't break defense. I mean, if you could hear how Rap was speaking when I listened to him, that's what I got from his vibe, was like, listen, there may be some dinking and dunking involved, but we ain't going to give up the big play. So I expect him to play very disciplined. But like I said, for a lot of those young guys, Dorian Williams, Dwayne Carter, and the veterans too, I expect them to be ready to wrap up. This is one of those games where, like you said, you got to bring that physicality from the jump. Kind of similar to what they did when they played the Jets on Monday Night Football. It's like,
100%. And you on the road, you going cross country in a place that's hard to play. I mean, Seattle got the loudest stadium in the league, probably designed to be that way. So it's a tough environment with a physical team that's been a physical team for a decade now. So you have to match that. So that same intensity that they came up with the Jets with that bully mindset, this is the type of game where I need Joe Brady to just let his old linemen be bullies. All right, cool. We just gonna run this ball directly down your throat.
Right. And that's why, they even flip it on the offense. I mean, I think that's why Ray Davis and James Cook are going to be so important, because it needs to be some thunder and lightning in this game. I know everybody's so focused on, Ray Davis needs to take first team reps. He needs to do this. He needs to start the game.
I don't need that.
I don't care. Right. I don't care when he takes snaps. The point is that the fact that you can have both, because I mean, I even heard stuff 2 weeks ago like Trey Cook.
No, it's the compliment that they have.
Right.
That's what makes it. That's what makes the tandem good.
Exactly. And like I said, we know the one game Cook was out, he had 150 plus yards from scrimmage. That's what you're supposed to do. Guess what? When I tell my backup, come in and be ready, that's what I need. But when they both healthy, now it's time to hit that team with that fire and ice, that thunder, that rain, you know what I mean? So I'm looking for him, and even Ty Johnson, sprinkle him in, when they get in the red zone. So like, I love the fact that they do got 3 running backs to choose from. I love the fact that I can, on 3rd and 1, do a quarterback sneak with Josh, where I can hand it off behind me to Ray Davis and he can get me 10 yards. I love the fact that on 2nd and 7, I can give it to James Cook and he can bounce it outside and get me 10, 15 yards, 20 yards. So like, I think most Bills fans just need to realize that, appreciate the backs that we have, and just trust the coaches to use them the right way. And I think Brady is honestly learning that on the fly, because once again, he hasn't had a full season as an offensive coordinator here in Buffalo. So like, as he's utilizing Ray Davis, I think he's finding certain plays that really work well with Ray Davis. And I think the same can be said with Cook. He's realizing there are some plays that's just, this is a James Cook play. And shit, when we get in this situation, it's going to be a Ty Johnson situation where we need Ty. So I think most people should first off be happy that we have both and that we have all 3. And I think this is the game from the offensive side where I think we will see our running backs get used in some very unique ways. You may see Ray and Cook out there at the same time. You may see Ray and Ty out there at the same time, or fuck it, all 3 of them motherfuckers. And then you got Cooper and Coleman on the outside. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I think offensively, I think they'll have enough up their sleeve that's going to keep Seattle guessing. And I think that's going to be the key on offense, is like, how many different matchups can I throw at them to keep their defense on their heels? Because we know when we play in Seattle, it's the Kenneth Walker show. Lockett going to get open a few times down the field. You got JSN and those guys. All right, cool. But with the Bills, you legit got you a rookie wide receiver who can make a jump ball play at any given time. He can also break one for 50 yards. I got Amari Cooper, 4 or 5-time Pro Bowler. I got Khalil Shakir, one of the best in the game, run after the catch, and just one of the best at catching the damn ball. I got a tight end who can move up and down the field. I got another tight end that's a great red zone threat. And then I got 2 to 3 running backs that can get me 10, 15 yards on any given play, mainly the top 2 running backs. So if I'm the Bills on offense, I'm looking at that jet script, say, hey, let's come out, let's be physical. But let's also utilize the weapons that we got and just keep them guessing, keep them on their heels. Like this is one of those games, man. If you take that, you mentioned the crowd. If you take that crowd out of it early, it's Bills Mafia time then, because handful of us going out there, myself included, and the noise gonna come once we start getting on that scoreboard, and that's when they gonna start looking around like, where these people come from? I came all the way from Buffalo.
Yes, sir.
God damn. Yeah. The last time we was here was Tyrod Taylor. Yeah, I remember. I was watching it on Cable Street, about pissed off because y'all called pass interference on some shit that wasn't pass interference. But don't get me started. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I think that the Bills got a chance here once again to come up with a big road win. I know it's not AFC, but this is a big NFC one because this was one of those ones that was on the schedule where it was like, 50-50. Seattle can catch you. Shit, Seattle just caught Atlanta slipping, and Atlanta was riding in on a high horse. You know what I mean? Kirko Bangs, he got his chain on. You know what I mean? And they went in there and smacked them boys right up. So Seattle is definitely going to be a test this week. And I'll definitely, obviously, next week give you views from inside the stadium because I've never been to Seattle before. Always have heard about the 12th man and all that shit. And we're going to see. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to see about the 12th man. I done been in the dog pound and all that shit before. Been to some great stadiums. So it's going to be good to get a unique view of what it's like being around their fans, being in their stadium. And obviously, again, bringing the Mafia to Seattle. But do you have a favorite individual matchup from this game? And then we'll get into
for me, it's just gonna be the continue evolving of how Amari Cooper fits into this offense. Just because I'm mostly just curious to see what his presence continues to do for the rest of the receivers and tight ends. Just because when you have a person who is such a crafty route runner as he is, and that can win on all 3 levels, it's bound to draw additional attention. So I want to see what that does for Shakir. I want to see what that does for Coleman, what that does for Kincaid. So I'm just curious to see how just the passing game evolves with Amari Cooper's presence. So it's just kind of more this watching and seeing how that develops over the next couple of weeks, but specifically this week. I just want to see what another week of practice, how much more can he get on the field, how much bigger of a package is he able to bring to the field this week, because additional week, 4 more practices, getting used to running routes with Josh Allen throwing the ball to him. So I just want to see how this passing game evolves from last week compared to this week.
Okay. I like that. Glad that I'm going to do something different because I'm going to feed off what I just said 5 minutes ago. I'll go positional matchups that I'll keep my eye on, and that's running backs versus linebackers on both sides. I think that this is a game where whatever running back crew or whatever running back Pro Bowler shows up, there's going to be a high chance that they win the game. Obviously, we can look at it and say Geno, number 1 passer versus Josh and all of that, but we know those guys going to come to play. I expect Geno to get his 200 plus. I expect Josh to get his, and there will be points scored. But I'm looking at in the trenches from a physicality standpoint, who going to set that tone? Is it going to be Kenneth Walker, versus Dorian and whoever else got to step up, Balin Spector and those guys if they have to play? Or is it going to be James Cook and Ray Davis versus they linebackers, Ty Dotson and those guys, giving them a headache? So I think running back versus linebacker is a sneaky good matchup on both sides.
I like that though, because I'm even more intrigued about that now with the trade that they made today. Sending out their linebacker Jerome Baker and getting Tennessee Titans linebacker Ernest Jones, who we just saw last week.
Right.
So talking shit to Josh, I'm like, all right, run that shit back again.
Run that
shit.
back, Ernie.
Like, whatever, Ernest. Nigga, you Ernest Jones the fourth, fam.
Yeah, you Ernest
Don't
Jones.
talk on Josh like that. But again, this trade just happened today. So what? He got Thursday, Friday, probably a walkthrough Saturday. So you're gonna be coming in here, starting at the mic with 2 days, 2.5 days of practice. So what's that communication gonna be like? When you manning the defense, you got the green dot. You calling in all the plays. You getting your teammates aligned.
Yeah.
You know, again, I think there is some familiarity with the system because I think the assistant coach in Tennessee was under the head coach there at Seattle. So I think there is some familiarity from system to system, but it's still a brand new player in a new system at the end of the day.
Right.
With 2 days practice. So how does that going to look? And now that's bumping Terrell Dotson to outside linebacker. So now Dotson, he's going to be trying to cover Kincaid. He's going to be trying to cover James Cook.
Right.
You know, we know T-Dot.
We know. Serviceable.
They know how to take advantage of linebackers who are not amazing in pass coverage.
And I'm pretty sure they got the share of seeing James Cook and Tyrell Dotson in practice, in coverage. So they know.
Do not be surprised if you see a lot of isolation to get him in space.
Yep.
It's going to be a lot of scheming up to get that man in some space because that's not his strong.
It's not to say he's horrible. It's just when you know
it's not his strong suit. Coming downhill, attacking the run, T-Dot is very good.
Like Baylon Spector. Yeah, Baylon Spector downhill, boom.
But dropping back in coverage and trying to hit your landmarks and get into space, that's not his strong suit. So if I got a couple crossing routes and you put that man in conflict, you know, he see some isolation across that middle. That's all I'm gonna say. Not be surprised if that middle of the field becomes vulnerable for Seattle this week.
All right, man.
They gonna listen. A brand new player, they're gonna test that second level regardless. They have to.
That's why I said it's gonna be not much of a chess match, but it's gonna be fun to see that little portion of the game plan. Is like, how do they attack the middle of the field? How do they get to the sidelines? How do they use James Cook, Ray Davis, Ty Johnson, Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox in the red zone? It's going to be a lot of fun games.
I'm testing that second level immediately. You got a brand new player and they're calling defense. I'm testing that second level instantly.
Right. All right, man. You know what time it is? 40 minutes in. This is when we do what we do. What is your score prediction this week? Now, we were both kind of close last week. I think I said 34-10. 34-13 or something like that last week with the game.
Yeah, I think I had 31-16.
Yeah, we was real close. Yeah, because I was thinking back. I'm like, we almost hit that.
Yeah, almost got that one. It was close.
So rocking with, man.
You know, let me check the spread on this. I think last time I looked, it was 3.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Bills 3-point favorites on the road.
I need to make sure I place my bets before I go.
Yeah, I'm seeing 3. So 3-point favorites on the road, which I don't think is a crazy spread for this one. I'm not sensing a blowout either way. I think these are 2 gritty teams. Like Seattle has been in the mix these last couple years just because they play a physical, demanding brand of football.
Right.
So both teams need to be prepared for a 60-minute fight. I do think both teams will be able to put up a couple points. I don't think there's going to be a game that's crazy high scoring where we're going to be up in the 30s, but I got a feeling it'll be somewhere around that spread, to be honest. So I got Buffalo winning 27-23, but I think they will cover the 3 points.
Okay. I like that. That's a safe one. 27-23. A little closer than what I would like, but I can see that definitely being right there between 3-4 points. I'm going to go up one more notch though. I'm gonna go. I'm starting like this 31 number, but I'm gonna go 31-21. I'm gonna go 31-21. I almost want to give him 2 more points and give him 23. And you know what? That's gonna be where I land. I'm gonna give him 23. Yeah, I'm gonna give him 23 points. I'll say 31-23, 8-point win. I think that first half you're gonna see them both trying to fill each other out, but you know what I mean. We'll see a couple punches being thrown. Not physically for real, but just honestly, both teams just trying to figure out the physicality point of it, but also you might see a couple haymakers, might see a 50-yard play here, a 40-yard play there. So I think it'll settle down in the fourth quarter. We'll start to see Josh get into his mode, which is the calm mode, which is killer mode. And I think they'll put it away in that fourth quarter. But I'm gonna go Bills 31, Seattle 23. I'm not gonna say I just see both defenses with like you said, the new additions for Seattle, mainly the new addition of the middle linebacker, and with the Bills having some injuries in that front seven that they still got to recover from. Because if Terrell Bernard is out, that's a loss.
Especially day to day right now, but you never know.
Day, but like I said, if he can't go for whatever reason, I'm a little concerned. Just because last time I had Balin Spector and Dorian Williams out there, we lost by 95 points. So, you know what I mean? So hopefully that's not the case. If it is, I'm pretty sure they're gonna come up with a hell of a game plan because they're gonna be like, hey, listen, this ain't the first time, so let's make sure we are prepared. So, I'm pretty sure Babbage and McDermott gonna have a great game plan. Like I said, I still expect Seattle to find the end zone a few times, which is, hey, it's the NFL. You're playing against one of the top offenses in the league. I don't expect you to hold them in 10 points. So I think 23 is reasonable, but I just think that for all the reasons that we mentioned, from the running backs to the tight ends and to Amari Cooper and this new group at receiver, we'll see what happens with Curtis. But I mean, if you just look at the top three receivers now, I feel pretty confident going into a game with Amari Cooper, Keon Coleman, and Khalil Shakir as my top three wide receivers. I'm pretty good. I mean, that's a top three than we had last year. So I like that top three. I like what we have running back right now. We got our two tight ends. Got to still figure out how to utilize Knox a little bit more, but shit, if Kincaid can give us 50 to 60 yards a game receiving, I'll take that. Because
1,000 yards for the season if you put those numbers.
You know what I mean? So if that's where he can land at consistently, like I said, you got to continue to utilize him down the field. I think we'll find that success. And like I said, 31 to me is not that out of reach because I just feel like, you give him 14 maybe at the half, come out in the second half, get into a little bit more of a rhythm, maybe a couple field goals happen. But I think Josh will put him away in the fourth. The crowd, I think Bills Mafia, you're going to get a decent amount of fans that's going to make that trip, for those people who haven't been out there in Seattle. And that's my prediction right there. Yes, sir.
I'm with that.
Real quick, I know we normally take sometimes a peek around the league. There was a trade that happened. I didn't want to close out without us pretending that another trade didn't happen.
Oh, that shit happened. It happened.
Bright and early. But what's your quick reaction on D-Hop to Kansas City?
I mean, it's a good move. I mean, this is not D-Hop of old. However, he's still very serviceable. And again, I don't think they need him to be D-Hop of old. I don't think they need him to be the receiver that's getting out 15, 1,600 yards. But they need a reliable person when they need a play, they can go to him. He may not have 8 catches in the game. He's going to have 3 catches at least that's going to be meaningful. It's 3rd and 8, and they need it, and they can go to him. So a player that Mahomes can actually trust to get the job done, which, I mean, none of his receivers right now, I don't think he legitimately trusts to make a play when they need it. Right. So, to have a vet who has a great set of mitts, who can still get open, who can still be a threat, not as much down the field as he used to be, but underneath can still get open with the best of them. So, I mean, it's a good move. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a 5th-round pick. Could be a 4th, but that's, in the grand scheme of things, that's nothing. Solid pickup. I'm happy that they got him and not like Cooper Kupp.
That was my big thing. I did not want them to get Kupp. I left work the other day and I told the one guy I work with, shout out to MJ. I know you listen sometimes. I told him, I said, man, listen, I hope they don't get Kupp. I'm like, that's my one thing. Because one thing about Kupp is Kupp can still get you 10, 15 catches in a game.
Technician as a route runner.
He a machine. Inside, outside, don't matter. And you pair him with a quarterback who know how to put that ball where it needs to be. that can be ugly for the AFC. So glad that didn't work. Hopkins, I would say definitely 5-6 years ago, from a route running standpoint, he was up there. Not so much anymore. Now it's more so he can find a soft spot. He's still got good hands. Like I said, he's just savvy now. He's just savvy veteran, damn near Reggie Wayne in year 12 type shit. You know what I mean? He's gonna be able to get you a key third down. You know what I mean? Or if you in the red zone, he can ride that baseline or ride the back of the end zone and find a soft spot and get a catch over your nickel corner or something. So
but it's somebody you still have to pay attention to. You can't just treat him like he McCole Hardman. Like you gotta know where D Hop is at all times because he can still hurt you. So like for them, that's a I got nothing to lose move.
Yeah, that's
a no-brainer. Like, yeah, go get him.
And we looking at the wire and we saying who is that veteran we can throw in there that at least is going to make some type of a difference. Not just, oh yeah, let's get Tyler Boyd or let's get fucking whatever. Like, nah, let's try to see if we can get one of them ones who at least knows how to play in big moments, who at least knows how to catch the goddamn ball. Because I think that's what pissed Patrick Mahomes off a couple times last year is he was working with some receivers who had some ball issues. You know, we know MVS, even though for the key moments that he had, he also had some moments where Pat wanted to like damn near throw his helmet type shit. So, you know, he don't have to worry about too much of that with Hopkins. Not saying Hopkins is perfect, and not saying that he's Adams or that he's Cooper, but if you had to rank them, I would say Adams, even though Adams is in the worst situation because them boys ain't going nowhere. I would say Cooper, from value standpoint, where Cooper is at in his career, Cooper can still put up Pro Bowl numbers. And then you got Hopkins, like I said, still valuable, savvy veteran. Does it scare me? Do I feel like it moves the needle? Because I know that was a question all on ESPN today. It don't scare me. It doesn't.
I don't think this is a move that automatically guarantees another Super Bowl. Like this definitely helps. I mean, it by far helps, but right. I don't think this is a complete. Okay,
it wasn't like, oh my god, limit.
Go ahead. This is not Tom Brady getting Randy Moss. Like this is not that move, but it definitely helps because I mean before you rolling out Xavier, Xavier Worthy, who's not quite a down and down out receiver just yet. Maybe he can develop into one, but he's not there year one. You're rolling out Juju Smith-Schuster, McCole Hardman, Watson,
Sky Moore.
Yeah, Sky Moore, who I think they're on the verge of just giving up on. Like that, those receivers aren't threatening anybody at the end of the day. So now they have a guy that you have to pay some attention to who'll be able to catch the ball. So it's good move for them because. Yeah, and the numbers because if Rashee Rice somehow comes back miraculously this year, then now that receiving core looks a lot different if they can roll out.
They said he should
roll out Rashee Rice,
but they said he's going to be out. They said he's going to be out, but they saying Hollywood might come back. Marquise Brown, Hollywood
man,
Brown.
He done said his goodbye for the whole season already. That man ain't coming back.
So,
but you never know. Again,
whatever case
way, if either one of those receivers are able to come back. Now that's a different story. If you have a Hollywood, you have a D Hop, you have an Xavier Worthy, that's a much more formidable lineup. So, it's a good trade. I'm not mad at it. So now we got to see D Hop again this year because we got them boys in a couple weeks. So run that shit back.
Get that boy.
He'd be all right.
See Rasul Douglas again and see Christian Benford. We got you. Click link. Quick take on the NBA. I do want to say real quick, what's your way too early prediction on the season, man? And you can go now.
Matchup we saw yesterday between Celtics and the Knicks going to be the Eastern Conference Finals.
I like that. Obviously, as a Knicks fan, I'll take that any day of the week. And then for the West, who you got facing each other? I know that's a tougher one.
Yeah, there's so many teams I can put up. Listen, I'll say it like this: if the Anthony Davis that played yesterday can stay on the court all season and play, Lakers can be an issue. I'm not predicting it because we haven't seen Anthony Davis stay healthy a full season. That shit has not happened. But if somehow Anthony Davis can stay healthy, Lakers can really stir some shit up in the West this year, I think.
Yeah,
I think the Net gonna ball once he really get his shot too.
I got a bold prediction for my non-bias prediction because I already did my Twitter prediction, which was just my bias prediction, which was Knicks over OKC in 7. But for my non-bias prediction,
Shy, man.
Yeah. And I like that team, man. They just got a good team over there. I mean, you add Hartenstein from our squad. Good overall team chemistry. You got Shet over there, fucking 7'1" and 200 pounds, but he can hoop. But nah, like on the real, I see non-biased Lakers versus Boston, and I would say Lakers in 7, and seeing, and this is a bold prediction, seeing Brown on that stage, seeing Brownie on that stage, both being able to share a championship together, and then possibly my man say, you know what, this is too perfect, I'm retiring. That'd be crazy.
You say possibly your man what?
If he wins the championship on the stage with his son, just saying, you know what, I'm out.
You gotta live on that note. If that happen,
that's just my way too bold prediction. Non-biased, like obviously eliminating the Knicks would be Lakers over Celtics, because I agree with you though. It's like if Anthony Davis can resemble anything of what he did last night, and I know I didn't watch the full game, but just catching some of the highlights, 36 points, a ton of boards, and just playing Anthony Davis basketball, which we know he's capable of doing. Like when AD getting this bag, there's like only 1 or 2 players, if that can really go toe to toe with him, and that's really Joker, and maybe a healthy.
It's really this Joker, just because he can body him up on the defensive end and still has an offensive game to make him work. But Davis, like I said, if he can stay healthy, Lakers, no matter what team he on, that team is an issue, because Anthony Davis on his A game is still top 10 player in this league.
Right.
Pure down.
Yeah, 6'11".
So it's just that, man, his ankles are terrible. I know, bro, just can't stay healthy.
Yeah, you just gotta hold your breath every time he hit the ground, because that's the key. But I will say this about the West, like I said, and this is not an NFL podcast. I mean, it's not an NBA podcast, but we are NBA fans. But it is gonna be fun to watch the West though, with Minnesota, what they got going on over there.
So many good teams over there, man.
You got Dallas still, you got Denver, you got Golden State, you got Memphis with Ja Morant back in the picture. You still got the Clippers. You still got Phoenix and KD and Booker. Like, oh man, it's like I said, I hate it for the women in our lives. I saw
funny. Even the East is top heavy though. He's got a couple teams that's still gonna be all right.
Right, because when healthy, Philly gonna be right there when they get all their guys back. Milwaukee gonna be in that conversation. We know Knicks. We already talked about the Knicks. We know Boston gonna be there. We know Indiana gonna be there.
Indiana gonna put up a fight.
Right. So like, that's just 6 teams right there. So again, and Orlando up and coming too. I want to give them credit too, because Orlando is scraping. You know what I mean? They just waving flags around like, somebody please notice us. So I want to give Orlando their flowers too, because they got a young dude over there. My man Paola is over there. Young Melo over there. I like to call him, because he definitely said he watched a lot of Melo growing up, and you can kind of see it in this game. So shout out to Orlando, Cleveland. Cleveland.
They trying. They got talent. They got talent. They ain't been able to put it together.
Guess what?
It's gonna be a fun season.
Yeah, definitely.
This West gonna be a bloodbath though. Come on, Sabres coming off a dub, back-to-back wins. Let's go.
Yeah, like I said, we don't want to log off without showing love to the Sabres. I mean, it was looking very nasty about a week and a half ago, but just like we say with sports,
hey, we coming around, man. If we can get some second line scoring, if Dylan Cousins can actually show up and hit the net with a shot, we'd be good money.
You gotta be a little patient, man. That's all it takes. But now, y'all, obviously a pleasure getting back in touch with y'all, man. It was good to get back to the stadium, like we said. But now we back to the road. Back to the road, folks. And I know most of y'all, we talked about it before. Yeah, I know I make my couple trips a year, so this is a part of it. Seattle was on that list, so I will see you guys that are on that plane, train, whatever out there. We're gonna have some fun out there though. Bills Mafia, man. Let's hold it down for everybody in Buffalo this weekend. It's gonna be a ton of fun. I already know. Even though it'll probably be rainy, it's still gonna be a good
Oh yeah,
time. But yeah. So we prepare. Hoodies packed, jackets packed, boots. You know what I mean? Sneakers, all that stuff is good. But man, y'all, pleasure catching up with y'all. We've reached our hour time, and the hour go by so quickly when we talk about our gang, our squad. But yeah, man, like, share, comment, subscribe, tell
all
a
that,
friend to tell a
all that.
friend
Yes,
that we
sir.
Big Buffalo, Big 716. Shout out to all the Scorpios. Our season is essentially here.
Oh, we officially here, right?
It's essentially here. I know I seen online it moved dates around 24th, 23rd. I don't know what it is, but I by the time this will be uploaded, I
Sometime
bet
this week, you
yeah,
here.
by the time it's uploaded, it's gonna be Scorpio season. So shout out to all my fellow Scorpios out there. Like I said, we're blessed to see good weather right now. So let's take that all in and let's enjoy another Bills victory this week, y'all. So I'm Val. It's my
It's your
guy.
boy Z.
Yeah, it's over here. I'm pointing in mad different directions, but he's on one of my sides. But we'll catch y'all next week. All right.
Yes, sir. Y'all be blessed.
Peace out.